Most people live their entire lives as prisoners of their own doubts, never realizing they hold the key to their freedom. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to walk through life with unshakable confidence, while others constantly question their worth? The difference is in talent, luck, or genetics. That's why today's story will reveal the simple but powerful method that transformed a young woman from a scared, self-doubting individual into someone who commands respect wherever she goes. Listen carefully, because this could change everything you believe about confidence. Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Portland, there lived a 28-year-old graphic designer named Maya Chen. For years, Maya had watched her colleagues present their ideas with unwavering confidence, while she sat silently in meetings, her brilliant concepts trapped behind a wall of self-doubt. Every morning, Maya would stand in front of her bathroom mirror, practicing presentations she would never give. "What if they think I'm stupid?" she would whisper to her reflection. "What if my ideas aren't good enough?" The voice in her head had become her constant companion, a cruel narrator that turned every opportunity into a threat. At work, Maya's portfolio overflowed with innovative designs, yet she consistently watched less talented colleagues receive promotions and recognition. Her supervisor, Janet, had noticed Maya's talent but grew frustrated with her reluctance to share ideas during brainstorming sessions. "Maya, you have incredible vision," Janet said one afternoon, "but talent without confidence is like a sports car with no engine. It looks impressive, but it won't take you anywhere." Those words stung because Maya knew they were true. Her lack of confidence wasn't just affecting her career, it was suffocating her entire existence. She avoided social events, declined speaking opportunities, and had even ended a promising relationship because she couldn't believe someone could genuinely love her. The breaking point came during a crucial client presentation. Maya had developed a revolutionary branding concept that could have secured the agency's biggest contract ever. But when the moment arrived to present her work, she froze. Her mouth went dry, her hands trembled, and she watched helplessly as her colleague Derek presented a mediocre concept that ultimately lost them the client. That night, Maya sat in her apartment, staring at her laptop screen filled with brilliant designs that would never see daylight. "I can't live like this anymore," she said aloud, her voice breaking. For the first time in years, she felt truly desperate for change. The next morning, while waiting for her usual coffee at a small cafe near her office, Maya noticed an elderly woman sitting alone at a corner table. The woman had striking silver hair and wore a vintage blazer that commanded attention. What caught Maya's eye wasn't her appearance, but her posture. She sat with such natural authority that other customers instinctively lowered their voices when passing her table. Their eyes met, and the woman smiled warmly. "You look like someone carrying the weight of the world," she said, gesturing to the empty chair across from her. "I'm Dr. Eleanor Hartwell, retired psychology professor. And you are?" "Maya," she replied hesitantly, surprised by her own willingness to engage with a stranger. "Maya, let me ask you something, Doctor," Hartwell said, leaning forward slightly. "Do you see that oak tree outside the window?" Maya glanced at the massive tree dominating the cafe's front yard. "Yes, it's beautiful." "That tree didn't start with confidence, Doctor," Hartwell explained. "It began as a tiny seed, buried in darkness, surrounded by uncertainty. But here's what most people don't understand. The tree didn't wait to feel confident before growing. It simply decided to grow, one ring at a time, regardless of storms, droughts, or doubt." Maya felt something shift inside her chest. "But trees don't have to worry about judgment or failure," Dr. Hartwell chuckled softly. "Don't they? Every storm tests their roots. Every drought challenges their survival. Every winter forces them to appear dead while secretly preparing for spring. The difference is, trees understand that confidence isn't a feeling, it's a practice." She pulled out a small notebook and wrote something down, tearing out the page. "Maya, I want you to try something for the next 7 days. It's called the Confidence Ladder Method." Maya read the note. Day 1. Make eye contact with 3 strangers. Day 2. Ask 1 question in a meeting. Day 3. Share 1 opinion publicly. Day 4. Take up physical space confidently. Day 5. Accept 1 compliment without deflecting. Day 6. Make 1 decision without seeking approval. Day 7. Celebrate 1 small victory out loud. "But what if I fail?" Maya asked. "Here's the secret, Doctor," Hartwell said, her eyes twinkling. Confidence isn't about never failing. It's about failing forward. Every time you try something despite your fear, you prove to yourself that you're braver than you believe. She continued, think of confidence like building muscle. You don't walk into a gym and lift the heaviest weight on your first day. You start small, you practice consistently, and gradually your strength increases. The same principle applies to self-confidence. Maya looked down at the list again. The task seemed simple, almost too simple. This really works? Let me tell you about another student of mine, Dr. Hartwell said. 10 years ago, a young man named David came to me. He was so terrified of public speaking that he would fake illness to avoid presentations. Using the same method, he started with making eye contact, progressed to asking questions, and eventually became a motivational speaker. The magic isn't in the size of the steps, it's in taking them consistently. Maya suddenly realized something profound. She had been waiting for confidence to appear like a fairy godmother, magically transforming her overnight. But confidence wasn't something that happened to her. It was something she could build, deliberately and systematically. Dr. Hartwell, why are you helping me? Maya asked. Because 20 years ago, I was you, she replied simply. Brilliant, talented, and absolutely terrified of my own potential. Someone helped me then, and now I help others. It's how confidence spreads, one brave act at a time. Maya spent the next week implementing the confidence ladder method. Day 1 felt awkward, making eye contact with strangers on the subway. But each small success built upon the last. By day 3, she had shared a design idea in her team meeting. By day 5, when Janet complimented her latest project, Maya simply said, thank you, instead of deflecting with self-deprecating humor. The transformation wasn't immediate or dramatic. It was subtle but undeniable. Maya began to notice changes in how others responded to her. Her co-workers started seeking her input more frequently. Clients began engaging with her ideas. Most importantly, the critical voice in her head grew quieter with each confident action she took. 6 months later, Maya stood before the agency's largest client, presenting a comprehensive rebranding strategy. Her voice was steady, her posture strong, and her ideas flowed naturally. She had learned that confidence wasn't about feeling fearless. It was about acting courageously despite the fear. After the successful presentation, Maya returned to the same cafe where she had met Dr. Hartwell. The elderly woman was there again, reading a book in her usual corner spot. Dr. Hartwell, Maya said, approaching with genuine warmth. I wanted to thank you. That simple exercise changed my life. No, Maya, Doctor, Hartwell replied with a knowing smile. You changed your life. I simply reminded you that you already had everything you needed. Confidence was never about becoming someone else. It was about becoming comfortable with who you already are. Remember, confidence isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a muscle you build through consistent practice. Every small, brave act strengthens your belief in yourself. Like that oak tree outside the cafe window, you don't need to wait for perfect conditions to grow. You simply need to decide that growth is more important than comfort. If fear whispers, you're not ready, but if courage answers, I'll learn as I go, then confidence will follow naturally, one small step at a time.